Hi team, welcome to today's workout. Thank you so much for joining me today. Before we get started, I will remind you, please make sure to check in once we are finished today. You can do that just below the video player here. As well, please make use of the stretching video that is also available to you to leave your body feeling nice and healthy and happy. Flexibility really is just as important as the workout itself. All right, so today's workout, we're going to do supersets with plank holds. So how this is going to work is we're going to start with our superset, 2 different exercises that are going to work different parts of our bodies while the other rests. We're going to do each exercise for a set amount of reps. We're going to go through that superset twice. After those 2 rounds, we're going to take a minute and we're going to hold some sort of plank for 1 minute. All right? I will show you how to do everything before we even do it. So let's get started. Number 1, we're going to do 20 goblet squats, 20 hammer curls. Then we are going to hold a front plank for 1 whole minute. All right, I will show you these things and then we will get started. So a goblet squat is basically a regular squat, but we're holding a weight. All right, so regular squat, we're going to start feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed out at a little bit of an angle. From here, we're going to hinge at our knees and our waist, keeping our weight in our heels. We're just going to squat down, holding our weight in front of us, just like so. 20 of those. Then we are switching to 20 hammer curls. So hammer curls, again, we're going to start feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in our knees. From there, we're going to glue our elbows to our ribs and we are not going to move them. Palms facing each other. We're just going to curl our weights all the way up, all the way down, just like this. All right, make sure you're not stopping in the middle. You are reaching all the way down, straightening that arm without blocking your elbows. If you stop in the middle, we're only working part of the muscle. We want to make sure you're working all of it. All right. After that, we are switching to a front plank for 1 whole minute. So this is a plank position on the floor. That being said, if you find that's just a bit too intense for you, feel free to stand up, lean against something like a wall, a set of stairs, a chair. Anything that's going to have you standing up taller is going to make this easier for you. All right. So we're going to get into our plank position on our elbows, just like this, keeping a nice straight line from our shoulder to our contact point with the floor. Whether that's your knees or your toes, knees is going to be a little bit simpler. We're going to squeeze our cores, keeping them nice and tight, and we're going to hold that for 1 whole minute. So let's get started here, team, with our goblet squats. 20 of these. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2. So keeping that weight in those heels as you go up and down. 4, 5, and 6. Awesome job, team. 7. Stay with me now. 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through. 11, 12, 13. Almost there, team. 14, 15. Stay with me now. 16, 17, 18. Almost there. 19, and 20. All right, 20 hammer curls. First time through, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2. So curling all the way up, all the way back down. All right, 4, 5, and 6. Keep going, team. 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through now. 11, 12, 13, 14. Almost there, team. 15, 16, 17. Stay with me now. 18, 19, and 20. All right, back to our goblet squat. Final round, and then we will switch to our plank. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Keep going, team. 5, awesome job. 6, 7, almost there, 8, and 9, 10. All right, over halfway through now, 11, and 12. Keeping that weight in those heels as you go up and down. 14, 15, 16, 17, almost there, team. 18, 19, and 20. All right, final hammer curls, final 20 of these, then we'll switch to our plank. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. Awesome job, team. 6. Keep going now. 7. All the way up, all the way down, making sure we're working that whole muscle. And 10, 11, 12, 13, almost there, team. 14, 15, stay with me now. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, into our front plank here, team. 1 minute, let's get into position. Remember to modify this by leaning against something if you need to. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. So keeping that nice straight line from your shoulder to your contact point with the floor, whether that's your knees or your toes, completely up to you. Breathing normally. Awesome job, team. 30 seconds. We're halfway through already. Keeping that core squeeze nice and tight. The tighter you squeeze your core, the less pressure you're going to feel on your shoulders, all right? If you are starting to really feel it in your upper body. Nice work, team. 10 seconds. Stay with me now. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right. Awesome work, team. Let's take this quick break. We'll grab some water, and then we'll move on to the next one. Whew. All right, team. Take a deep breath with me. Here we go. And in and out. All right. Moving on here, team. Next 2 exercises for our superset. 20 forward lunges, 20 arm get-ups. Then we are switching to a left side plank for our final minute. I'll show you how to do these things, and then we will get started. So, a forward lunge. What we're going to do with this, we're going to start standing on both feet. From here, we're going to kick one leg out to about a 45-degree angle. We're going to lean forward onto that foot. Then once we're in this position, we're going to think of this as a downward motion. We're going to drop our center of gravity down towards that front knee, pushing up through that heel in the front in order to stand back up. We're going to alternate legs each time, all right? Always thinking about pushing up through that heel. 20 in total, 10 per side, however you'd like to count that. After that, we are switching to 20 arm get-ups. So, an arm get-up, this is kind of similar to a push-up. This is a plank position on the floor, just like our front planks. If you feel the need to modify that, make it a little simpler for yourself, you can stand up, lean against a wall, a set of stairs, a chair, anything that has you standing up taller will make these easier for you, all right? So we're going to get into a plank position on our elbows, again, very similar like we did with our front plank, keeping that nice straight line from our shoulder to our contact point with the floor, whether that's your knees or your toes, all right? From here, what we're going to do, we're going to take one hand, we're going to put it underneath us. I kind of like to have it around my ribs, kind of around the bottom of my ribs, just kind of around my sternum area. I find that is a good angle because what we're going to do from here is we're going to push ourselves up with that one arm, lower ourselves down with the same arm, then you can choose to alternate arms each time, or you can do 10 on one arm, burn that one out, and then move on to the next, all right? If your coordination is not quite 100% great, I kind of would recommend doing all 10 on one arm first, then you can switch over, do all 10 on the other. Please modify this one if you need to. Because it is one armed, it can be tougher than doing regular push-ups, all right? 20 of those, 10 per side, however you like to count that. Then we are switching to a left side plank. So left side plank, you have two options for this. We're gonna brace ourselves on our forearms to start. Your less intense option is you're gonna take your bottom leg, you're gonna swing it underneath you, making your shin parallel to your forearm, all right? And then we're just gonna plank up from there, core squeeze nice and tight. If you're feeling a bit more ambitious today, you can plank up from your feet, all right? You can stack one on top of the other, just like I was doing. You can put one in front of the other, just like this. Completely up to you, but that is going to be our last minute. Also feel free to lean against the wall to do this one as well, all right? So let's get started here, team, with our forward lunge. 20 of these, here we go, in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, awesome job, team, up through that heel. 5, 6, 7. So kicking out about 45 degrees. That's going to make sure your toe doesn't track too far over your toes, which we don't want, all right? 10, halfway through. 11, 12, 13. Awesome job, team. Stay with me now. 14, 15, 16, 17. Almost there. 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right. Arm get-ups, 20 of these, or 10 per side if you'd rather do them that way. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3. Throwing up and down with the same arm. Keep that hand nice and far underneath you. That's going to give you a good angle to push up. 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through now. 11, 12. Stay with me now, team. 13, 14. Almost there. 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right, back to our forward lunges. Final round of both, then we'll switch to our plank. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome job, team. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep going. And 10. We're halfway through now. 11. Pushing up through that heel to stand up. 13, 14, 15. Awesome job, team. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right, final arm get-ups. Then we will switch to our 1-minute plank. Let's get into position. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going, team. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay with me now, team. 9 and 10. We're halfway through now. 11, 12, 13, 14. Almost there, team. 15. Stay with me now. 16, 17, 18, 19. Last one, 20. Whew. All right, final plank, left side. Here we go. Remember, you have your 2 options for these. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. Keep that core squeezed nice and tight there, team. Awesome job. Stay with me now. 30 seconds. Awesome job. Keep squeezing, breathing normally. And 10 seconds. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right, awesome work, team. Let's take this quick break. We'll grab some water, and then we'll move on to the next one, all right? All right, team. Take a deep breath with me. Here we go, and in, and out. All right, moving on here, team. We are going to do straight leg hip lifts and 20 bent over rows. That's going to be our superset. After that, we are switching to our right side plank for our final minute. I will show you how to do these things, and then we will get started. So, straight leg hip lifts. You're going to want something to put your feet up onto. I'm going to use my ottoman here. You can use anything really, a step, chair, your couch, whatever you have handy. From here, we're going to lay down on our backs. Heels are going to go on whatever thing we are using. Legs are going to be straight without locking our knees. Okay, so just slightly unlock those knees. From here, we're going to lift, squeezing our bums at the top, up and down, just like this. There's a really good chance you're going to feel this in your hamstrings, all right? So the muscles right behind your thighs, that is normal, all right? We're going to do 20 of those. After that, we're switching to 20 bent over rows. So a bent over row, and this is one you can do sitting as well, but we're going to start feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in our knees. We're going to hinge forward at our waist significantly to about a 45-degree angle, just like this, all right? From here, we're going to drive our elbows up behind us, squeezing our shoulder blades on top, up and down, just like this, all right? We're not shrugging up into our necks. We're driving our shoulders back behind us, squeezing those shoulder blades behind, all right? After that, we are switching to our right side plank with the same 2 options on your forearm and your shin, just like this, or you could do this from your feet, depending on how ambitious you are feeling. I would recommend you do the same type of level that you just did with your left side plank as to not feel lopsided, all right? So let's get started here, team, with our straight leg hip lifts. 20 of these. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. So lifting, squeezing that bum at the top. And 7, 8, 9, and 10. Halfway through now. 11 and 12. Remember, it's perfectly normal to feel these in your hamstrings. And 15. Squeezing that bum at the top. And 17, 18. Stay with me now. 19 and 20. All right, switching to our bent over rows. Let's grab some weights, whatever you have handy. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3. So rounding those shoulders back, squeezing those shoulder blades together behind you. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through now. 11, and 12, 13, almost there, 14, 15. Stay with me now. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, switching back to our straight leg hip lifts. Final round of these, final 20. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2. If your hamstrings are screaming out and they're feeling like they've had enough, feel free to turn this into a regular hip lift. Just resting your feet on the floor, lifting those hips up, squeezing that bum at the top. 9 and 10. We're halfway through. 11, 12. Stay with me now, team. 13, 14, 15. Oh, 16. Almost done. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right. Final bent over rows, and then we will switch to our plank. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Awesome job, team. 5, and 6, 7. Squeezing those shoulder blades together behind you. 9, and 10. Halfway through now. 11, 12, 13, almost there, team. 14, 15, 16. Stay with me now. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right, final plank on our right side. Here we go. Let's get into position. Modify this however you need to. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Awesome job, team. Keeping that core squeeze nice and tight, breathing normally. Awesome job, team. Stay with me now. We've got 30 seconds. Excellent work today. We're almost done. 15 seconds. Stay with me now. Here we go. 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right. Excellent work, team. Let's take this quick break, grab some water, and then we will move on to the next one. Whew. All right, team. Take a deep breath with me. Here we go. And in. And out. All right. Last one here, team. We are going to do 20 bear squats, 20 shoulder raises. Then our last piece of core for our planks, we're going to hold a hip lift at the top for 1 whole minute. I'll show you how to do these things, and then we will get started. So bear squats, we're going to get into bear position first. So basically that is table position, hands and knees just like this. We're going to tuck our toes up underneath our shins just like so. From here, we're going to push up through our toes, pushing our heels down to the floor, kind of making an inverted V shape with our bodies, bringing our knees down, and then you have the choice to either hover them over the floor, which is going to be more intense, or touch them down to the floor in between each of your squats. Completely up to you. Touching your knees down is going to be less intense than just hovering your knees, all right? 20 of those. After that, we're switching to 20 shoulder raises. So, shoulder raise, we're going to start feet shoulder width apart with that slight bend in our knees. Weights are starting on the fronts of our bodies, just like this. Shoulder blades down nice and low on our backs, keeping our weights nice and close to our bodies. We're raising them up to here, pointing our elbows out to the side, just like this. All right, keep those shoulder blades down low so you don't shrug up as you lift. That can cause neck strain, which we do not want. Then we're finishing off with a regular hip lift hold for our final plank. So laying down on our backs, knees bent up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift those hips, squeezing our bums at the top, holding that for a whole minute. If you do find throughout the minute things are getting a little shaky, feel free to release those glute muscles, all right, and just hold that position for that final minute. So let's get started here, team, with our bear squats. 20 of these. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going, team. 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through. 11, 12. Keep going, team. 13. Pushing up through your toes. Pushing those heels down to the floor. And 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, switching to our shoulder raises. Switching to those. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. Keep going, team. 6. Keep those shoulder blades down nice and low on your back. 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through now. 11, and 12, 13. Almost there, team. 14, 15. Stay with me now. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, back to our bear squats. Final round of these 20. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2. Remember, you can hover your knees or place them on the floor, completely up to you. 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Almost there, team. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right. Final shoulder raises here, team. Then we will switch to our hip lifts. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6. Keep going, team. 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through. 11, 12, 13. Almost there, team. 14, 15, 16, 17. Stay with me now. 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right. Switching to our final hip lift. Hold. Here we go. Getting into position in 3, 2, 1, and go. So lifting, holding that squeeze at the top, If you can, if it does get intense, feel free to let that squeeze go. Awesome job, team. Stay with me now. We've got around 30 seconds left. We're almost there. And then we're done for the day. Excellent work. 15 seconds. Stay with me now, team. All right. 5 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right. Awesome job, team. We are finished. Thank you so much for joining me today. I always appreciate you being here. Now that we are finished, please remember to check in. You can do that just below the video player here. As well, if you're comfortable with it, I would love to see your sweaty selfie on social media. You can tag me on both Facebook and Instagram at M12 Fitness Liz, all right? Thanks again so much, team, and I'll see you for our next workout.